You know, I mean, I like how we responded the last 2 days in practice, and you know, when you could get 33 assists, I don't care who you're playing, that's pretty powerful. So it was neat, and then we shot it pretty darn well, and I think we have better shooters. Don't know if we're gonna make 20 every night, but I think we can make 10 or 12 a night, and then it's a little different game for us. So maybe this sets up a better week for me.
How do you get to 33? I mean, what did you make it? Was it a conscious effort to let's move it more than what we've been moving?
You know, Tom, I told them at halftime, they had 17, which is unbelievable. I told them at halftime, and I said, school record is, what was, is that a tie?
That's a tie.
That's a tie. I told them what the record was. I said, let's try and get it. And then I kept count through the second half, which probably made them even more unselfish. But here's an interesting. We lead the nation in assists to turnover before tonight, even not shooting it very well. That's how good we pass it. We're going to be so far out in front when these numbers go in, you know, to the second place team. So, and then I thought guys that had shots, we talked about that. Like, you can't turn stuff down. So, you know, a process.
Mike, you said you saw in practice the last couple of days how they respond. I mean, what specifically did you see? Did you feel it would carry over?
Yeah. You know, I think when you're in the funk, and over 20 years I've been in and out of the funk a lot. You know, and luckily I've gotten out of the funk quick enough to stay around 20 years. You know, it's probably 1/3 teaching, 1/3 challenging manhood, 1/3 giving confidence. Sunday was probably a little more of a challenge. Monday was a little more of, let's go. We got good players, and let's do it, and don't turn shots down. And you know, and so I think that's the balance point at any time, you know, with a team, especially when they have their butts kicked last week like we did.
Mike, when you see Goodwin play like that,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
what's
I
the ceiling?
brought him and Nate in on Monday, and I said, how can I help you two guys? I mean, tell me. And Dane was sitting forward in his chair, in his seat across from me. He's a very intense guy. He goes, you need to get on me more. I said, note taken, you know. And so I do ride him a little bit because he can disappear at times in practice, but I guess I got to ride him more, and he loves it. And you listen to your guys sometime, but I just be aggressive, man. He's a gifted guy.
Coach, after a game like today, do you think that the guys are maybe a little bit looser going into a game like UCLA?
I think so. You know, I think as the leader, then it's part of my job to sell them. We have found our Detroit game, December or whatever, you know, but again, we've moved the ball well, and you know, so just don't turn them down and play fearlessly. And I think for our three sophomores, who are such a key for us, it was a great night for them to get out of a little bit of a tough week and feel better about themselves. So I think that helps us for Saturday.
Gotcha. Did Rex?
Rex was just a little bit. He just kind of strained on a wet spot, and we just felt, don't put him back in. He was available. He's fine.
That was what I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you pull yourself out of your funk?
I am. How do you know I was in a funk? I mean,
I'm just guessing.
I came clean. You know, I have a good staff, and you know, I'm better at it as a veteran coach because I'm a veteran coach, and I'm more near the end of my career than the beginning. And but I was kind of disappointed. As I said, I was disappointed in myself. I think I had a little better feel for the vibe of our group, and you at the end of the day, and I said teaching, confidence, challenging. At the end of the day, when all else fails, it's always good for me to go back to teaching, teach, and then, you know, and I really tried to do that yesterday, and I was exhausted when I went home last night because it was, you know, it was one of those days where you were really watching and pushing. So, and just got to get my rest and do that.
So you get up Sunday morning, you're like, gotta be more meat with these guys.
Yeah, it was. We didn't even go on the practice floor Sunday. We went. I turned Tony Verlinski loose on Sunday. Sometimes it's a better voice, and strength coaches are good at pounding guys, and they know our guys because they coach them year round. We did not even touch the basketball court. We went in the weight room. I texted Tony Saturday night. I said, Tony, we got to do something different. I said, I want you to let it rip on them tomorrow. He had stations set up, first half, second half, 2-man pairs, and all cardio and lifting and going, and they had to talk, and it was good. It was upbeat, and the whole staff worked out. We were all in there with him. I was in there. That's probably why I'm exhausted, because I'm faking it for an hour on the life cycle because I don't want my guys to see me dying. I said, everybody dress out. We're going in and working out with our guys, and then I clipped off things we need to do better video-wise, and I made them watch it by themselves, and our captains talk about it. I said, I'm not going in there. You have ownership of your group. You talk about it. Gambles on defense, getting beat, turning down shots, 50-50 balls that we didn't have the effort to get to. Texted the captains on Saturday. I said, how'd it go? So yesterday we did scouting in here before we talked about Detroit. I said, I want everybody, tell me what we talked about yesterday. And just when they talk, we have really smart guys. So it was a little bit of a different routine. And then yesterday I thought we had a really good practice and we were teaching and so it was just a different couple days. But what we did with Tony, as I said to Tony, with this group, we may have to come back to that, and not necessarily after a loss. That's not a bad thing, the more I look at it, because your practice routine and being on basketball court can get really stale. This group's probably already had 80 practices together when you think about the summer. So what do we do different? We have cardio, but yet we're going at it. We got Tony, who is an instrumental part of the program, challenging manhood like all strength coaches do. I think all strength coaches are born able to challenge manhood, and so it was a different, but it had to be. We had, and I don't know, maybe we found something, but we'll get back to it Thursday.
What do you have coming up Saturday?
Saturday. So this is what I love about our group. So Saturday I kicked into, fellas, you're going to get to be part of the UCLA, Notre Dame history. TJ Gibbs cuts me, goes, the hell with that, we owe these guys. The way we lost out there is a hard one to swallow. That was a long flight back. And so I go, you're right, forget the history. I'll deal with that. We'll talk about it Friday, read about it on the internet or whatever. For me personally, it'll be an awesome day. I think it's an awesome day, and it brings back a lot of memories. And it's an honor to be part of it. I know the history of it.
Well, I'm going up against Nick.
Well, it'll be good to see Mick. Yeah, he's a good friend and building his program. But I told Mick, I texted him the other night. I said, you do know, Bill Walton, Digger Phelps is going to be on TV for a while. Coach is going to get on. They won't even know if we played, who won, who played well. So I said, Mick, they're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. They're not even going to talk about the game. But I do. It'll be good to see Mick but for me, I remember the matchups. I was young watching Notre Dame UCLA, and it's one of the reasons we started the series. Also, obviously, to get Rex home. But and we'll come back to that series every couple years. Not every year, but we'll rotate back to it. But I do agree with kind of TJ's thing. We probably should focus on that because that was a hard one.
Carpenter surgery go all right?
Yeah, everything went great. Everything
No
went great
further-
according to plan. The long road back right now, he'll probably be in the training room Thursday. Parents are here in town. Went what we thought, pretty clear cut. Nothing more nerves or anything. We got an ACL repair like Rex Pfluger, Scott Martin, Tim Abramitis, and Nixon, our new trainer, will be ready to get him going. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.